Can you all see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought the first thing I'd start doing is just talking about, I'm going to talk a little bit and then I'll pass on to Kim. I'm hoping that Kim will talk a bit about the mentoring. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you our video then, which will encompass everything that we've just said. And then we'll maybe talk a little bit more, but then we'll go to questions and see what you guys would like to know a little bit more about the programs. I think this explains it the best. Okay. So as you can see from there, we have 3 areas that we sort of say that we cover. And within those, you've got that top area, and the middle area, nature through nurture, and the flourishing families. Okay. Now, if you look across the top, basically, this is where we're trying to help people to re-engage and actually maybe try and get back into some form of education, or sort of try and actually re-engage back within the community. So within that, we've got the youth counselling service, which is for 16 to 25-year-olds, which is for right across Surrey, but they're actually based in Woking. So if there was somebody who wanted counselling, they would have to travel to Woking to actually receive the counselling. We've got in Stanwell, the local conversation, which is, there is an allotment there. And we also have a community centre where there's lots of activities that go on for families. And that's the only way I can describe it. It's all sorts of things for families. The allotments have got chickens, you can see in the middle there, it's got chickens that they have running around there. They do lots through the summer holidays for young children. And again, in the community centre, like recently, Kim ran a course there for parents with children with ASD, for parents who had children that were 6 to 11. So there's lots that go on there. We've got the mentoring support, and I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to let Kim talk about that. We've got Steps to Work, which is a program that we run for people who are 16 to 25, who perhaps are not in any form of education and are struggling to actually get work. And what the coordinators and the support workers do is they try and help them to write a CV and figure out the best way forward for them. We've got Steps to 16, which is in Woking. And this is for any children who are 14 to 16 who are not engaging in a mainstream school. And they're still on the school records, but the school feels that actually they deserve to have a second chance. And so what they do is they come to us and they will do their English and their maths, and they'll also do some OCN qualifications. And that can involve all sorts of things that are going to help them later on in life. Okay. Through the middle there, you can see we've got Swing Bridge Boat. We've got 2 Swing Bridge boats, one which is our community boat, which works in the environment. So basically it's for any adults that are struggling to engage with the community, perhaps because of their own mental health, and they come along and they will learn new skills. You'll see a bit more in a minute on the video. Then we have the other Swing Bridge boat, which we use quite a lot for families, for young people, and we do all sorts of activities. We do one-day boat handling courses, and it's about trying to get perhaps a family together again to be able to communicate better. Like as you can see there, the chickens on the allotment for Stanwell, and then we have another allotment over in Reigate, which is a huge allotment, which does all sorts of activities and things for families. I'm now going to come to Kim and ask her to talk about the mentoring.
So the mentoring, sorry, Sean, I should say, when we were looking at this slide, when we did our last training, we realised that we're actually missing one of our contracts on here, actually, the Alliance and Aspire, which is something else that we have throughout Surrey, which we can works alongside the mentoring as well sometimes, and that's for 18 plus people who are kind of the furthest away from the job market, but we're trying to get them back or on their way into jobs. So sometimes a mentor might be put in place alongside that program as well, if there are, if maybe you had a parent who was looking to maybe retrain or get a job. In terms of kind of like mentoring, the mentoring, we start from 11 upwards. We have two kind of main contracts. We have the early help contract, and then we have the wellbeing contract. But again, we work quite closely together, and we decide which would be the best kind of contract for that person. So the mentoring really kind of works in that you would meet that mentor, whether it's a young person or a parent. They would meet that mentor weekly for anything up to a year, basically, and how they use that time is completely up to them. So for a young person, a lot of the reasons why they might be referred to our mentoring support might be to do with anxiety, school issues, perhaps, could be confidence, self-esteem, could be family issues, domestic abuse, could be a number of kind of reasons as to why that person has been referred to our mentoring support. So yeah, I'm not quite.
Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks, Kim. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show the video. I'm hoping it's going to work. The unique power of Surrey Care Trust is it's a holistic approach, and we might find that we'll get a referral from one person with their issues, but actually when you get to know the whole family, there is more going on within that family than just that one issue. We've got over 500 volunteers right across Surrey that are involved with different vulnerable people in different ways. So that could be a parent, it could be a child, it could be an adult who's just struggling to get themselves back into the community and want to re-engage with people.
There was probably a point in my life where I didn't think I'd make it past like 16, 17. That was like the worst time of my life, and it shouldn't have been. I was so young. I was at CAMS in the time because I was self-harming, and oh God, I didn't realise this was going to make me feel like this. When I was 14, I got enrolled with Surrey Care Trust because with my mentor, she just wanted to talk to me. We were just having a conversation. It was like going to see just a friend, but there wasn't all that pressure of feeling like they were going to judge you or be biased about any of the situations. So I just think, yeah, it was really good for me. It was just nice speaking to someone who's experienced more of life than I had.
I was recommended to come here, yeah, because in my mainstream I was struggling a bit with the concentration. But then when I'm here, I'm not really struggling because it's sometimes like one-on-one. It's a lot easier. I think it's done good because it's given me a time to unwind and like rethink of actions and stuff like that. It's made a big difference, to be fair.
It means a great deal because a few years ago I was diagnosed as being on the autistic spectrum. So this is a way of me getting out, meeting people and practicing my social skills without realising I'm practicing my social skills.
This is a unique opportunity for people to come out and work on a boat. It's a floating shed. It's full of tools. And we take, again, sort of community groups and people suffering or recovering from injury, accident, that kind of thing. We teach them to do environmental work. And we also teach them to drive and handle boats. It gives them confidence and it enables them to be part of something.
So this is the Gateway Project, and it's a community allotment where people can come down and they can be with other people or they can do tasks on their own.
I think Surrey Care Trust need our volunteers so much. We couldn't do anything without them. They just build that relationship with one person.
Well, we support many families living in the Stanwell community. It's a place where people can feel comfortable, relaxed, confident that whatever they say to us is going to be kept safe. Some of the families that we work with said, you know, what an incredible difference that we've made, and it feels like a real family.
Could you volunteer a few hours a week to keep these projects running?
Can you make a donation to Surrey Care Trust to help people like me? Surrey Care Trust have helped tens of thousands of people like me, and with your help, we can help thousands more.
Okay. All right, I'm going to stop sharing now. And hopefully, yeah, it's brought me back to you. So I thought it'd be good now just to maybe even just say to you just questions, because obviously I've just sort of given you lots and lots of information, and I'm sure from that certain people have picked up